Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel. As always, at the beginning a small disclaimer: I have a small stammer. If it bothers you, you can leave. If not, hello and welcome, and let's enjoy this video. Today I'm reacting to 13 things you should never do in Norway. Norwegian etiquette, or never do in Norway 1 year after. From this lady again. I've reacted to another of her videos. I probably will give it a thumbs up at the end. So let's start with Norwegian etiquette.
Are you dreaming to visit Norway one day? Perhaps you already booked your flights and started planning your trip. Let me stop you right there. Don't go. I mean, don't go until you watch this video, until the end. As today, I want to share with you 11 major things you should never ever do in Norway. Hi guys, I'm Anna, the YouTuber whose channel was born in Norway. And today I'm finally back to my country of my global presence again. Some of you already know what we usually do on Sunday.
One walk, yeah? Makes sense.
Right, we go hiking. But today it's going to be a little bit different because I'm in Oslo, the capital.
Oslo.
Norway. So today, instead of showing you endless Norwegian forest, which I will do next time, I promise, I'll take you around its capital, Oslo. I'll show you the city, and meanwhile, I will tell you about those 11 things you should never ever do in Norway. Let's jump in right away. I have no idea what was it. I'm just acting silly because I was missing this country way too much. Number 1, and please stop calling Norway Europe. It's a part of Scandinavia. After living in Norway, I tend to believe that Norway is the center of the universe and everyone in the world knows who Norwegians are. The truth is, Norway is not as large as I want to believe. Those of you who don't know, Scandinavia consists of 3 countries: Norway, Denmark and Sweden. Yes, geographically we are located in Europe, but still we are a Nordic region, the Vikings.
Okay, is Finland not considered a Norwegian country? A Scandinavian country? Or like, I always thought Finland is also Scandinavian. Please let me know in the comments.
I didn't just say it. And it's not even a European Union. Yes, if you didn't know, Norway is not a part of European Union and has never been. Let me explain you why. The Norwegians spent 400 years as a Danish colony and then a century as a union with the Swedish. And now the word union makes them shiver. When the European community became the European Union in the early 1990s, the Norwegian Eurosceptic could hardly believe their luck. Their slogan had always been no to the union, and suddenly their marketing worked really good for them. Since the Norwegians rejected twice the European Union membership, but the country still implemented more European Union directives than any other actual European Union member state. This contradictory behavior stems from the fact that Norwegians strongly believe that any other nation is less responsible than themselves. Number 2, and don't even try to pay with your euros or US dollars here. Norwegian currency is NOK, Norwegian krona. If you're traveling with your euros only, you will not come far. The Norwegian krona was...
The money looked nice. I like money, and I really like different banknotes and stuff. They look funny and just interesting. I always want to know like who is on it, why is it on it, like is it a famous person and stuff. So I definitely have to check out a video about Norwegian money.
Recently weakened, which means that if you're traveling to Norway in the nearest future, it will be slightly cheaper than it used to be a few years ago. Also, I want to let you know that Norway is using less and less cash. You can mostly buy anything here with your card, even taxis, parking and hot dogs. That means it's not a tragedy for you if you forgot to bring cash. Number 3, and the most vital for all Norwegian people: never ever sit next to anyone on the bus, on the train or any other public transport.
Okay.
It should be also mentioned that there are certain rules about sitting on a public transport in Norway. People simply don't sit next to strangers in this country. If you see open seats or open benches, you must always take them. Never take just the closest seat, which might already have someone sitting next to it. This will make Norwegians nervous and they will wonder why you're sitting so close to them. That's because Norwegians only get very close to strangers when they're incredibly drunk. Not on the commute home from work
Okay.
at 3:30 p.m. And also, never ever talk on public transportation.
Okay.
Never ever. You don't take any loud phone calls
That-
or don't
yeah,
even
that's
chat with
decency.
a friend you're traveling with. You just sit there quietly and look out of the window. Whatever you do, just never ever strike up a conversation with a
Okay.
stranger on a public
So,
transport and
very
never give them a
German, I
compliment.
think.
No. Number
or
4, and
Austrian, you
don't eat with your hands in Norway. Norwegians rarely, if ever, eat with their hands. Food and snacks and even sandwiches are eaten with utensils, with a fork in your left hand and a knife in your right hand. Unlike the Americans, who are usually putting their knives on the plate after slicing their feet and after they're picking up their fork with their right hand. Norwegians hold on to both fork and knife while they're eating. One time, my friend from
Okay.
Norway came to Rome to visit me, and we were in my auntie's home to enjoy that delicious Roman pizza she made specifically for us. You should have seen my auntie's Maria eyes as they get really, really big when my friend Rune and the rest of the group started eating that Roman pizza using both fork and knife, the proper Norwegian way. Number 5, and never be late. Punctuality is the
That's
key in Norway, and Norwegians
very
are very
German of them.
punctual lot. And the idea of
I
being
hate
fashionably late
people
is looked
being late.
upon as a bad and really
Never be late. I'm telling you, that's so unpleasant for the person who waits. And like now we actually have mobile phones, so if we are late, we can at least ring the person and tell them I'm late because I don't know, bus has broke down or whatever. Not just like, who cares? That's so unpolite if you're late. Okay, I'm sorry for this rant, but I hate being late or people being late, especially the ones in the cinema, when you are already sitting there enjoying the movie and then somebody decides to show up and exactly has this seat in your row next to you and everybody has to stand up, gets interrupted. I hate those. Sorry for the rant.
weird. Foreign tradition. Sì, sì, è vero, ragazzi. Therefore, if you arrange for your birthday party to start at 6 p.m., expect to have a full house by
At 6
10
p.m.
past 6. Punctuality applied for both the beginning and the end of
That's good,
arrangements.
yeah.
If your birthday party is scheduled to end at 11 p.m., your house will be deserted by 1 minute after 11. Number
That's good.
6, and don't complain about the weather, no matter how long you are in Norway. Even if you're just changing
There are no
your
bad-
place
there
in
is no bad
Gardermoen
weather, there is
Airport
only
in
bad
Oslo,
clothing.
on your way to somewhere
I learned
else,
that in another
100%
video.
is going to be someone to tell you that there is no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothes. This phrase is repeated whenever anyone complains that they're too cold or too wet, which happens a lot. From an early age, Norwegians learned how to dress appropriately, grasping the concept of layering. And it's the same important as to learn how to count. If Norwegians didn't go out when the weather is bad, in some parts of the country they would never go out at all. Hi Bergen, looking at you now. Foreigners are usually drastically unprepared for Norwegian winter. Actually, even more so for the spring or autumn, when you frequently experience all types of weather within a few hours. So if you show
Okay.
up in t-shirt and shorts when minus 20, well, you can thank yourself. And don't complain. Number 7, and don't complain in general at all. Especially never
Okay.
complain to the Norwegians you just met. As Norwegians, don't complain. Trust me, they will tell you
As an Austrian, we always complain about everything. It's like in our DNA. So hearing not to complain in Norway is interesting and will make difficult times if I'm there and complaining. So
they
yeah.
do. But after living in England, and especially in France, I can officially confirm that Norwegians just don't really complain. For example, if you tell to any Norwegian that you're not happy with your life, with your job, or just with the hotel room, they will usually give you a very puzzled look, having only one thing in their mind. Why don't you change it? In some cultures, united complaining brings people together.
Yes, Austria, for example.
And my mic is absolutely failed on me. All of a sudden it got too cold and I had this as the result.
There
but
is
in
no too
Norway,
cold.
complaining would be the main ingredient of how never make any friends with the locals.
Okay. What the hell is that?
I decided not to annoy you with such a strange sound, so let's carry on here. Where we were? If in some cultures complaining brings people together, in Norway it's totally the opposite. In Norway, complaining is the main ingredient to never have friendship with the locals. Never. Number 8. And never ever get too close to anyone. And don't keep your eye contact for too long. After living in England, and especially in Italy and France for more than 10 years, I got used to people getting really close to you when you speak. We all know how French and Italians greet each other. Norwegians would never do this. They appreciate their personal space way too much. They're not being rude, it's just their nature. If you're not sure how close you should go, just try to read their body language and don't get any closer. No. If they back away from you, I would say 2 meters would be fine, depending on the situation. If I talk to you in Norway and I lift my hand and it reaches you, man, you're way too close. Step back right away. Same thing with the eye contact. Norwegians don't really like it. They don't necessarily think that it's rude, just really intimidating. And in most cases, they will not know what to do with it. Doesn't mean that you should avoid it at all. It's absolutely fine when you greet someone to look them in the eye, but never look too long. Best rule here is to make exactly the same amount of eye contact as they do. Number 9, and don't expect that all Norwegians are the same. And please stop calling them Vikings. Such nonsense. The Vikings. Norwegians are kind of the least Viking nation in Scandinavia. You will find it as soon as you come to Norway. The difference between southern Norway and northern Norway is really huge. Since Norway is such a long country, it goes without saying that the differences are quite significant. In the southern Norway, you have beautiful coasts and warm, not tropical though. Where then the east has large areas of woods and the capital, Oslo. The west has the fjords and mountains, while the north has gorgeous Arctic landscapes and the northern lights. Wintertime. You might.
Is it really pronounced Oslo, or is it just her dialect? Can you please let me know if Oslo is right?
Also notice that the dialects spoken all around Norway are very different. And if you're just learning to speak Norwegian, it might be a little bit confusing. Number 10, and don't expect to explore all Norway during long weekend, 4 days trip.
That's not possible in any country. Maybe
Norway, that it's a small country, which is so easy to travel around. Bad news, it's not really the case. Even though only 5 million people living here, it's a large country area, which is huge. 158 and 718 square miles.
How much is that in
you're not
normal
able to spend just a few days in Norway and discover it all. West coast, the capital, its northern parts. In fact, driving from Kristiansand in southern Norway to Nordkapp in northern Norway takes about 38 hours non-stop.
38 hours.
You should definitely plan your trip carefully and first of all check the distance between the destinations you would like to visit. And if you want to see some different places in all regions of Norway, I highly advise you to take some extra days or just plan more than one trip. And by the way guys, for those of you who are planning to travel to Norway for the first time, I just finished my Travel to Norway guide. It's published on my official website and you're free to go and grab it. Make your first ever trip to Norway truly unforgettable. Number 11, and guys, please don't come to Oslo hoping to see here the Northern Lights or polar bears. Please don't. It is a very common misconception that polar bears are walking down the streets all around Norway. This is fortunately not the case. In fact, there are no wild polar bears on mainland Norway. And Norway is actually a very civilized country. And you will be surprised to see how modern it is. We even have cars driving on the streets. And especially in Oslo, every third car will be Tesla. Svalbard, however, is a Norwegian archipelago between mainland Norway and the northern pole, where there are more polar bears than people live. And still, it's super rare that there are any incidents between the inhabitants and the polar bears. Number 12, and a few words about the northern lights. Please don't expect to see them all around Norway.
They're just in the north. That's why they are called northern lights.
They intend to see the northern lights, which is totally understandable. However, the northern lights or aurora borealis are not visible all over Norway, especially in Oslo. Since Norway is a very long country, you will be able to see the lady in green dancing all over the sky only in the northern parts of it. Further south you go, the fewer chances you will have to see the northern lights. Places such Bodø, Lofoten Islands, Tromsø are the most popular destinations in Norway to see the northern lights. You should also remember that the northern lights will will not be seen during summer months, as
Because it's
too
summer.
much daylight during
Yeah,
that season.
that makes sense.
The best chances you have to see the northern
winter.
lights would be from October to April. Still, it will depend on weather condition. Always keep this in mind. If it's grey and snowing, the chances you will see the northern lights is quite low, no matter where you go. Number 13, and never ever, under any circumstances, say that Sweden is better than Norway. Never
okay.
ever admit that a Swede is being better than Norwegian at anything.
Okay,
Anything.
they don't
Especially
like them.
at skiing. Sweden will never be better than Norway at anything.
Well, skiing depends on which skiing. There's alpine skiing. There we Austrians are good. We aren't the best anymore, but we are good. Norway always has some of them that are really good in alpine skiing, but in cross-country skiing, nobody is better than in Norwegian. You guys rock at that.
Apart from the prices of everything, but about this you should never ever speak openly. Also, Denmark will never ever be better than Norway at anything. Apart from its easy availability of both, and about this you can speak openly. Tusen tack. Oh, thank you so much guys for watching this one. Please don't take this video seriously. It's just a joke, so come on, let's laugh together. And if you are Norwegian, Swedish or Danish yourself, please let me know in the comments down below what you think, what is true and what is not really true. Stay safe guys, be happy, and as our tradition goes, I will see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.
And have a great one ahead. Love you so much. Love you. Bye. Bye.
That was interesting. I'll give it a thumbs up. She deserves that. I really liked it. It was really interesting. Really interesting. And I learned never say that Sweden or Denmark is better. I mean, obviously you never can say that, so it's not that hard. So see you next time. Bye. Have a nice day and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.